All right, so I'm back and I washed off the sticky sugar that was on my arm. I also put a little bit of powder on this arm. I didn't do that on the other side, but being just that I'm right-handed and this is my left hand doing the work here now, the powder kind of helps you not get stuck. So, all right, so I did kind of get that lower part of my arm. That's why I'm starting right in this little middle part. One thing that's nice about the powder I just noticed is you'll kind of be able to see where I've gone. Okay. A lot of people wonder if this hurts. And when I first had my arms waxed, I was kind of nervous about how it would feel because my legs were really sensitive and I thought the legs were really painful. But when I did my arms for the first time, I actually thought it felt good. So I can't speak for everyone, but it just sort of has like a exfoliation, cleansing feeling. At least when you have like kind of these finer hairs like I do. I'm sure for men with thicker hair, or even women if they have really thick, coarse hair, it's not super comfortable. But the arms don't seem to have as much nerves, or at least as much pain sensitivity as like the legs do, especially the lower legs. So if you've never done any type of waxing or sugaring and you're just freaked out about the pain factor, I recommend starting on the arms just to ease into it and see how you do. Another thing that you could do if for some reason the arms are kind of painful for you when you're first learning how to do this is just start off with a smaller piece of sugar so you're not doing as big of areas. Just since I'm kind of used to the pain and it doesn't really bother me, I can do pretty large areas at a time and it still kind of feels good. It's weird on the arms. I don't say that for all the areas, but okay. On arms, I do kind of have like a little bit of a pattern, as you can see, but once you kind of get the major spots, then you'll just kind of go around and touch up any spots that were missed. Make sure that you don't have any lotion or oils or anything on your skin at all that's going to interfere with the sugar sticking to the skin, because that will really you'll just notice right away that it's just not working. The sugar has to stick to the skin in order to pull the hair out. Okay. So as my sugar gets a little bit softer here, it's getting a little stuck. Keeping the sugar on the fingertips is going to keep from getting it too gooey, because once it kind of drains down into the palm, it starts to get really hot. So even like above the fingertips is a good spot to keep it. If your sugar ever gets just too warm, you could just put it on and let it sit on the skin. And that's keeping at least this heat from getting into it, and it kind of gives it time to cool. And then you can go back at it. And a lot of times if you were having trouble picking it up the first time, after letting it sit for a little bit, it cools down and it comes off a lot easier. Kind of using the camera as a mirror, so that is helpful too, to get some of those spots of the arms that are hard to see. You can just do this in front of the mirror in the bathroom or something. The reason it's getting a little stuck right there is because I can't hold the skin tight. So wherever you can't hold the skin really tight, it just tends to sometimes have trouble getting off. So do your best when you're doing yourself to just flex certain spots, or like if I'm doing here, I can stretch my arm out and that's going to pull that skin a little tighter. Okay, so I'm pretty much done, I think, with the bulk of the hands or the arms, and now I'm just going to go around and just kind of touch up any spots. If at this point, when you're doing yourself, you have like sugar bits all over and the sugar in your hand is like all gooey, this might be a good time to just go ahead and rinse everything off, rinse your hands off, rinse your arms off, apply a little more powder, and then go through and touch up any missed hairs. Of course, if you're in a super hurry, you could just leave them, or you could also, jump in the shower and just run a razor over and get any of the little missed spots. Although the sugaring is almost so fast, it might be faster just to sugar. So I do have, I don't know if you can see, but I do have some moles on my arm, like there's some right there. And this one in particular has a hair that always grows out of it. And there's, always questions like, do you pull the hair? Do you just trim it? So I'm not a doctor. I'd recommend talking to your doctor about it if you have a question about it. My personal preference for myself is I always remove the hair. I just pull it out. But sometimes I've heard estheticians or people say, oh no, don't pull it out. Just, cut it with scissors, leave the hair on the follicle. Okay, so I got this little blob here. I'm just letting it sit to kind of cool it down. And then once I pull that off, I think, well, I got a little bit on my elbow. Elbows are so hard to do. There we go. This is it's just hard because I want to do it straight so I can see, but then it's all wrinkly and it's not tight. So my sugar is getting like totally goopy goop. This might be a good spot to just call it quits, but we'll see. I know that a lot of people are curious to know how I get unstuck. So we'll see if I give this just a second, I can show you. Okay, you want your skin tight. So my baby just came in with his dad. All right, I'm just going to stop the broadcast now.